plus whatever they are watching. 3 simple points I want to give you today. I'm not going to be long. I'm going to, because I'm shifting this, I'm going to try to be quick and to the point. 3 things I need you to understand. And they were supposed to be towards monies, but I got to shift it because the Lord told me to. The more you know God, the more you'll love God, the more you'll please God, and the more you'll serve God. The essence of where we're at is we have the troubling aspect of we have a form of knowledge of God, but not the real understanding of God. Let me skip. I don't know if you, okay, watch this. I'm going to skip. I want to read the scripture in Romans 1:18. If you're in your hand, y'all can just pay attention. Don't worry. It's in your app. You can go look at the notes later in your app. Romans 1:18 says this: for the wrath of God is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteous of men who suppress the truth in unrighteousness. Simply put, there's a fancy way of saying basically that God's anger is turned towards those who don't try to please him. God's anger is towards those who don't love him and that don't want to run after the things of heaven. Got it? And then it says, because that which is known about God is evident within them. Evident where? Within them. For God made it evident to them. And then it says in verse 21, for even though they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks. But they became futile in their speculation, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools. All right. So watch this. As we were in prayer, we're in worship, the Lord began to reveal this to me in a different way, in that there are so many times that we feel like we know God, but in knowing God, there's no evidence within us. And there's no evidence of us knowing God in the sense of this. How many people know that you could pretend to do everything? Yes. I mean, you could just about pretend. I could pretend to do church. I could pretend to act like I like my mom and dad. No, you could pretend anything. And what you do is you go through the motions of it, but secretly in your head, you cursing. Nobody here, somebody's going to hear this later. You know what you do. So like someone tells you to do something, you're like, I'm going to do it, but secretly I'm not doing it. In my head, I'm really not doing it. I heard what you said. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to clean it, but really I'm not cleaning my room. In my head. I got you. Oh, come on. Parents, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm doing. I'll preach a message and tell you what to do, and I'm giving you a word, and you know the word's right on, but in your head you're like this. When I leave, I'm going to forget. We do this with God where we can experience God, but then we're not really knowing God. And so we only know a form of God in the sense of I know God in one dimension, but not in all the dimensions that he wants me to know him. All right. So watch this. God's name, the name we know is God. Right? Now, all throughout the beginning of the Bible, the Old Testament, there's over 13 references of God, but his name is Elohim. Now, here's the difference because there's all forms of this Elohim. Okay? And so you reading him as Elohim, God, and that's the one form we know him as. And so you know him as that one, but all throughout the character of God, he is Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Sinkenu, Jehovah Shalom. Y'all hear this? And so El Elyon. And so throughout the Bible, these other characteristics of him become apparently clear. He's not only Elohim, he's also Jehovah Jireh. He's also Jehovah Nisi, my banner. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. And unless you experience him, come on, let me talk to someone who ever been sick and you need God to do something. No, come on, no, you've been through something. Like when they told me, and they said, you're not going to be able to walk. You're going to be in consistent pain because my L4 and L5, I have a degeneration in the bone, and that it's so small that they said you should be in chronic pain. You'll never run again. You'll never walk again. You won't be able to do these things. All we can do is give you these steroids and teach you how to manage the pain that you're going to be dealing with for the rest of your life. Matter of fact, what we want you to do is, there are certain things we want you to learn how to do so that as you can't walk, you'll be able to lean on these elements. This is what the doctor told me a few months ago. And then y'all remember we had Pastor Boateng, and we had some stuff happen, and the power of the Lord came in, and I'm running back at 9-minute miles. Squatting 350. Oh, y'all, that's when Jehovah Rapha, that's when I know him as my healer. When I start to know him in a way that I'm like this. No, I know that what the doctor said, when I go and read the report says I should be in pain. But what I know him as, he's a healer. So what the doctor said one thing, but my God said another thing. So now I know him as a healer, and I know he's capable of doing things that seemingly is impossible. The doctor, I got the steroids still sitting in the drawer. I can throw them out. Come on, Pastor. Why? Because I now know him as Jehovah Rapha. See, it is not until you encounter God in a different way that something shifts. You follow? It is not until you shift and know him that way that you begin to say, wait a minute, God, I know you in another facet. We have a real big problem. We have a big problem because we have too many believers that don't know God. No, can y'all be real? Please. We know a little bit about God growing up as kids, but we don't know the new God. And I say new. He didn't change, you did. And his mercies are new every morning. So there's something new he wants to show you of himself that you have never experienced yet, and your children are wrestling with it because they have no exposure to that grace. They have no exposure to this new God. And so now you have a generation that have a hard time lifting their hands. You have a generation that have a hard time. They don't read the Bible. They don't know. They don't even know how. If you told them to turn in the Bible, they said, let me get my phone. We have adults that don't know certain books of the Bible. Funniest thing in the world. I walked up to, somebody was calling my son's name. They was trying to call my son's name. And I said to the lady, I says, oh, hey, do you go to church? She thought it was a weird question. She said, yes, I go to church. I go to church every Sunday. I said, you go to church every Sunday? She says, well, sometimes I can. I said, you don't understand my son's name? She said, well, what do you mean? I said, it's one of the books in the Bible. She goes, oh. So, you know how you don't know how to spell it sometimes? No, some of us have an issue because we don't see it enough. And if you aren't meditating in the Word, if you're not reading the Word, that's when the Bible tells us, if I can go back to the Roman text, it says they have evidence within them. There's something on the inside of you. That's what made you come to church. You give your life to Christ. You say, God, I love you. It makes you come to church. It says, I need to know more about him. But watch this. But it says, but even though they knew God, look at the tense. Even though y'all know what tense that is, right? That's called, come on, class. That's past tense. I mean, even though they knew God, it says in the text, they did not honor him as God or give thanks. So what happens when I don't honor God and give thanks? When I don't honor him with my time, my talent, my treasure, what happens, he says, they became futile in their speculation and their foolish hearts were darkened. That means that's when they start judging the church off of the world standards. All the church want is your money. Why you going to church? All the church, oh, yeah, I can't go to church. It's God, and I love God. It's the people. No. I love God. It's the people. No. It's you not being able to navigate the Holy Spirit that's supposed to be on the inside of you. So it's an infant Holy Spirit that cannot tell a difference when somebody is of God and someone just got a spirit on them in the church. Yeah, because we got people in church that got spirits on them. Everybody in church doesn't mean they all right. It's a hospital for spiritual people. And they come in and they're in church and they got issues. And then they roll their eyes at you and now you mad. They done roll. You like this. I can't stand on this. And then the lady at let me tell you what happened to me. Let me tell you what happened to me. They're going to ask me to move a little closer. I didn't want to sit a little closer. I don't understand what's going on. And that's why I can't stand up in this church. Speculation, and they get darkened. You don't know what's going on, and you don't know we want you closer to the fire. You don't know we're trying to get you around somebody. You don't know. Maybe we were moving you off the pew with the crazy person and trying to put you on the pew with everybody that's sane. We're trying to move you because certain people, there's crazy people sit in the back. I just messing with back people. I'm just messing. Somebody's like, no, let me give you this. So you have to know God. And when you get to know God, let me tell you something. That's when it's not a problem to do for God. The problem is you don't know him, then you say you love him, but you don't. How do you know him and you don't love him? Because to know God is to, and when I love God, that's what happens is it starts to establish, God, what could I do for you? There's no way you could get into come to church, say you know God, and never sing, and never open your mouth, and never lift your hands, and never bow your body. If you don't do it at home, you're probably not doing it here. So it feels funny doing it here when I never did this before. See, what we do at home, we come to church, it's just like this is just an extension of what we do at home. This is just corporate practice for my love relationship at home because I know him at home. Now I'm coming here, I know him, he's the same God. He doesn't change just because you came to church. Now all of a sudden, let me tell you something. Let me be very clear to y'all. I am the same person inside the church as I am outside the church. If you see me anywhere in the store, I am the same person. All the time, 100% of the time, you will never catch me anywhere other than who I am right now. I like being funny. I'm going to be funny there. I'm going to be funny here. And it's just me. Some of us, we are two different people. Like we love God, but your loving God is real interesting because I seen what you love when you love something. Where my sport people at? All my sport people. Yeah. I seen when you love your team, you buy the jersey. Can't get you to buy a t-shirt. I ain't never seen you with a t-shirt on about Jesus. I seen you with your bubbly in your hand. I've never, it's funny, I don't never get to see anybody take pictures with the Bible and put it on social media. Reading. Studying that word. Oh, I love God. But you put that bubbly in your hand. We got all the poses for every other item, but not the Bible. I issue a challenge. Let's do some photos with Bibles. Let's do the Bible challenge. We got all these challenges out there. How about I open up the Bible and just be like this? Don't I look sexy? No, I'm just saying. That's all the pictures y'all and the women doing. I don't even know how they do that picture. Every man in here has seen the picture. You can't, they all there. They just, I don't know, they're doing something funny with their body. Now, I'm not asking you to take a picture like that with the Bible. Let me clarify. I just feel like somebody's going to be like, wait a minute, Pastor told me to do this one. No, I'm just saying, show your love. How can anyone convict you of being a Christian if there's nothing Christian on your page? How can someone say that you're really loving God and they never see you do anything that show you love God? They look at your checkbook got everything else but God in it. I wasn't supposed to talk about that. I'm sorry. No, they look at all your stuff. Matter of fact, if you had to be tried and you went to heaven right now, some of y'all would get kicked back down. They bring you up. Okay, we're going to look in the book. Oh, I'm sorry. You only got one entry. Yeah, you came in on March. And wait a minute, looked like you came a couple of Easters. Wait. You've been on Christmas. Sorry. You got the boot. You're like, but wait. You know my heart. Knowing my heart won't get you to heaven. Knowing my heart won't get, no, because our heart is really indicated by our gifts. I know how much you love me when you give. Oh, y'all ain't liking it. No, come on. Can I talk to the women with it? Let me talk to women. Women will be with me. You know when somebody love you, the gift they give, you be like this. Boo love me. And the gift not right, you be like this. Thank you. But what that means is, if I could do the commercial, what that means is, you went real cheap, didn't do right, and it didn't have any value. But I understand you was trying. No, sometimes we get like that with God. We're trying, but God is saying, you ain't sacrificed nothing. There was no sacrifice of your hands. It's hard lifting your hands up in worship. Your hands start getting tired, and you like, and you T-Rex it. At least if you start to hear, God can understand. But our love has to show something, and it can't just be, God, I love you and you know my heart. Where's the fruit? Let me wrap up. Let me wrap up. Here's the thing. There are elements that will show us, and we have to teach our children this. I'm so thankful for the children I have. We have to teach our children that is more than just coming to church. That if they don't learn anything at all, church is useless. It's like all those Spanish classes y'all took and can't speak Spanish. Come on, everybody knows. What do you know? ¿Cómo está? Estoy bien. Buenos días. Yeah. And it like, and then you start talking to them. You're like, oh yeah, I took 4 years of Spanish. Wait, where my 2 or 3 years spent? Come on, my older saints. 2 or 3 years? Come on, put your hands up. 4 years? Hey, any years of Spanish? Okay. Any years of French? Where you at? How much do you know? Go to the country and they're like this. They start speaking to you. Say, hola, and you're like this. Bonjour. We were in the hotel, and the lady, we were in the hotel, and the lady starts, she says, I says, oh, it's hot in here. She says, oh, No hablas inglés. Oh, okay. Hay mucho calor. Oh, hey, más despacio. Slow down. And she slowed down. She started speaking. I said, I understand. Oh, bueno. No. Oh, no, sí. Te bien. Mucho dinero. Gave her some money. I said, here you go. I gave her some money because she did everything right for me. My wife said, oh, she ain't want to say nothing to me. I said, you ain't say nothing in Spanish to her. You can't act like you're communicating and not speaking someone's language. Watch this. But now you want something from God and you ain't talking his language. You want to know him and love him, but you ain't speaking nothing to him. You don't even know what he's saying. God, what are you saying with what I'm going through? He like, I've been talking through every circumstance, talking through your marriage, talking through your friendships, talking through your relationships, and you don't even know what he's saying. Know the language. Some of us aren't even aiming, and so we're trying to please God. Let me close with this simple point. You're trying to please God, and he's saying, you could please me if you just try. And the problem is you ain't aiming at nothing. You know how much focus it takes to aim at something and to hit the target? You don't understand. And watch this. The younger you are, the harder the target is to hit. No, come on, Igea, come on, Igea, come on, help me out. Come on. The younger you are, the harder the target. Help her out with get that football, that's tough. You're gonna break something with that. That's the wrong football. Let's come over here to this example, because no, come over. I can see the cross get knocked down and me just bleeding. Can y'all just see her throwing it and it hit the cross and the cross go, and Jesus come down and go, really? We're throwing balls in the. I'm just saying. So watch this. All right. So I want you to hit number 5. Oh. It's okay. Yeah, no. Hit it again. Hit number 5. Number 5. Give it number 5. Hit number 5. Watch this. Come on, come on, you can do it. Cheer her on, y'all. One more. All right. Come on, give her a hand. Come on. KJ, come on. Give her a hand again, come on. Because what happens when we're aiming for something, stay right here. Watch this. The older you get, the further the distance happens for you in your walk. No, come on. No, because you're trying to get to God. Can I talk to those that your walk seems to be like you love God, but it seems like he's so far away sometimes? Please, wear the real hands. Thank you. And the older you get, you're trying to, and it feels like the bar is moving, but you got to keep aiming. So watch it. So now you get to this age, and you're trying to go on for the 5. Whatever you hit, put it in anywhere. Come on, you could do it. Come on, you could do it. Give him some more. Come on. Oh, come on. So the process happens. Come on, give me a teenager very quickly. Come on, I take 2. So watch this. Come quickly. Because here's the difference. It's okay, I gave him 2. Y'all right there. Wait, why are you getting frustrated? Why you?
We get 4.
Oh,
never mind, my bad.
Okay. Whatever you want. Come on. Just go ahead, get in there. Go ahead. Come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. You can do it. Come on. I feel like y'all got it. Here you go. What happens is, this is the case. When you're first young in this thing, that's the best time to be up close to God. It's at this level when you're in the beginning. This is why parents, if you don't raise your children a certain way, it's hard to hear at this level, I'll never miss. I can always get the word. I can begin to please God because this is the age where I'm able to keep going. Yeah, God. I'm learning about what happens is the older y'all get, y'all start walking away from the things of God. Please, come on. And you're trying to please God, and then you're trying to throw at God, God, I need you. God, why aren't you hearing me? And we're missing the target because we're aiming for something, but we're so far away from the target, it's hard to hit. And the more you come to church, and the more you read your word, and the more you stay in the things of God, then you start to know God. You start to love God. And then what he does is he moves the target closer. He starts to move your relationship closer. So now you get into a situation and you need to aim at something, but you ain't got far to go. God, where you at? There you are. God, I need you. God, I want more of you. Listen, let me be clear to you. God's just trying to get you to aim at something. You got to start teaching your children how to aim closer. And if you don't keep your children in the things of God, they will absolutely miss every time when tragedy hits. Something's coming. The world is very clear. If you don't believe something is coming, something's coming. And it's more than the president. The president is just one part of it. He's a very key part. He had to let us see that it's possible for stupid to happen. No. I mean, maybe I said that wrong. He had to let you know that anything is possible in our culture. You thought, it's a safe, no, anything can happen. So that means that the world is going to shift. The Bible talks about the world shifting. It's going to be a day when it's not pleasing to be in the faith. Even now, people are still trying to rip the church apart, judging the pastors, judging this. Man, we just human. The one thing I can say is I can't promise you I will not fall. Something I might say or do might mess up. One thing you can hold on to is God is ever changing. He's going to still be the same. One thing you can hold on to is even if I do, he gives me the ability to get back up as he did David, as he did others in the Bible. Now, I'm not saying I'm all right, y'all. Your pastor's okay. I'm simply trying to get you to understand this is not for you to look at me. This is for you to look at him. Let me close. My prayer is this. If you heard anything today, get closer so you can aim at something. God is the only one that says, the closer you get to me, I'll keep the target right where it's supposed to be. I'm not going to move it. God doesn't move the target. He says, you draw close to me, you could just put it right where you need to be. Today, we have to make some decisions. It's not enough to come to church. I got to be the church. Being the church requires more than the Sunday morning experience. I got to read it to my children. I got to talk to them. Some of us aren't talking about God at all in our house. And then we come to church, our youth workers are trying to teach your children about God. And it's difficult because they got all sorts of three-letter letters, not because they have it, it's because their phone creates it. So we got to entertain your children. I think the season of entertainment is out. Like it can't be just, we have to teach them the way that they should go so that when they get older, they won't depart. I want to pray. I think in this room are two different people, actually three. There's someone in the room today that you absolutely know if you left here, you would go right to hell. No, you have no relationship with God. If you're here, I want to pray for you. You don't have, eternity is made for us, but you don't have to go to hell. Jesus died on the cross for your sins that you might have life and have it more abundantly. The second one is the backslider. You're here and your life, you know God, but speculations of futility. You speculate, your heart's gone dark, and all sorts of things about the church disgust you. There are things that I've seen pastors in churches do that just didn't seem right, but it's not for me to judge those moments. It's still for me to worship God. Don't let the mess of church hurt and church stuff stop you from giving God glory. He tells us, do not forsake the assembly of the saints if some do. He says, it's important for you to come to church. It's my second call. My third call is, you know God, and you've been wandering from church to church, and now you're like, you know what? I need to get planted. I need to go to a church where people know my name, know my business, and they still will love me. This is that church. It's not perfect, but I tell you what, we'll love you through your stuff, and we'll still accept you. Can I pray for you? If that's you, as we prepare to stand to our feet, would you, if that's you, one of those areas of you, would you come to the altar? I'm going to pray very quickly. Time is of the essence. I want to make sure that you get where you need to go and get to the destination God has for you. If that's you, any one of those calls, would you come as I'm praying? Father, I thank you even now that those that are here today that need more of you, oh God. And so, Father, I pray that you would touch their hearts today, and that even now that they would make a commitment, a renewed commitment to know you, to love you, oh God, to be able to please you, oh God. I pray that you would have your way in their hearts today, and that you would open up the windows of heaven and pour out on them in this moment, oh God. Bless them. And so if there's one today that does not know the Lord, there's one today that's fallen back, there's one today that needs a church home, or there's one today, the fourth call is simply you just need touch and agree with you in prayer. And I just want to call that very quickly. If that's you, would you move now while I'm talking? Father, have your way even now. Strengthen, come against the spirit of fear and doubt, oh God. And I pray now that you would do a new thing in the heart of every believer. God, that you would have your way and that you would be glorified in them and through them, oh God. Father, we love you. We thank you even now for what you're going to do. God, we give you glory and honor and praise even now for what you're going to do.